I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Donald Trump held another fascist campaign rally. This one was held in Manchester, New Hampshire, before a very tiny crowd. During the event, Donald Trump praised genocidal maniacs abroad who want to destroy America. He spread more lies about the 2020 election, and he whined about how he doesn't want to debate his Republican primary opponents. Oh, and he made weird grunting noises. And then following his appearance at this fascist rally in New Hampshire, he met with a woman convicted of her role in the January 6th insurrection, hugged her, and signed her backpack that she carried to the Capitol. Let's discuss what went down. I'm going to show you the clips of what went down in Manchester, New Hampshire. It is utterly disgusting and utterly despicable. In the first clip from this rally that I'm going to play, Donald Trump attacked the South Korean president, talked about how South Korea is dependent on the United States, and then Trump praised his relationship with Kim Jong-un. Play the clip.
South Korea, we take care of their economy, we take care of everything, we take care of the military. They're right next door to Kim Jong-un. He and I have a very good relationship. People would say, it's not good to have a good relationship. Yeah, it's very good to have a good relationship. It really is. But he's not so happy with Biden. He says bad things about Biden.
In this next clip, Donald Trump whines about how he doesn't want to have to debate his Republican primary opponents. And then he lies and claims that Nixon and George H.W. Bush and Reagan never had to debate. I mean, I've seen those debates. They're out there. They had a debate in their primaries, so I don't know what he's talking about here, just more lies. But notice when you hear the crowd, when he talks about George H.W. Bush, the entire crowd boos, because let's just face it, the Republican Party isn't the Republican Party anymore. They're just the MAGA Republican Party. They are a Donald Trump cult. Here, play the clip.
And then they want to do something on the debates. Think of this. They want to debate. They want to have, I have people at 1/2 of 1%, 1/4 of 1%, 1%, 3%, 2%, 4%, 7%, and DeSantis is very low and crashing. He's crashing and burning. Don't forget, when he came to me, he was at 3%. So he failed in his campaign. Then I endorsed him, which I could have done without, but I endorsed him and he went up a lot. But he went up and he won. But when he campaigned for a long time, he failed. And now he's failing again because now he's getting a chance to campaign without Trump, to put it mildly. To put it mildly. But so these debates, you know, Nixon and Reagan and Bush number one, others. No, they didn't debate in the primaries. They didn't debate. I mean, seriously, you look at the boards and you see these things, 1%, 1%, 2%, 1%, 3%. And you look at these numbers and we're at 60 and 70%. Why would you do that? You want intelligent people, don't you, to be running your country? But I do look forward to the debate with Joe. No, corrupt.
You know, speaking of which, that the MAGA Republican Party is no longer what the Republican Party used to be. I think that's the biggest understatement of the day. Here, Donald Trump attacks Lindsey Graham by calling Lindsey Graham the progressive from South Carolina, and then you'll hear the entire crowd boo Lindsey Graham. Play the clip.
Anybody that says that's no good, very interesting. Lindsey Graham, the progressive from South Carolina. No, he's a progressive. But he's got some good things too, okay? But Lindsey Graham, I said to him, Lindsey, you got to go along with this. We were all set to get it done. You got to go along with this. He says, so let me get this straight. If they charge us, we charge them the same thing. He said it's not his strength. Other things are his strength. He said, so they charge us, we charge them, same thing, right? Yeah, you got my vote. That's so easy.
I mean, just think about that, folks, that Lindsey Graham has spent the last, close to 8 years sucking up to Donald Trump and being obedient to Donald Trump and praising Donald Trump and going on Fox saying, please give Donald Trump money. Donald Trump, who's pretending to be a billionaire, really needs your money. Just think about the shame that Lindsey Graham has brought himself, and there Donald Trump's just mocking him on stage. And Lindsey Graham will continue to shame himself more, even despite that fact, because there really is no dignity at all. Here's Donald Trump saying that he wants to restore the racist Muslim travel ban, and he refers to them as terrorists. Here, play this clip.
And I will restore my travel ban to keep radical Islamic terrorists out of our country. You saw what happened. 4 years. 4 years we went. 4 years. You saw that, right? We were very tough on that. We don't want our buildings blown up. We don't want to have problems.
Again, more racism, more xenophobia, utterly disgusting. Here's one of Donald Trump's talking points about gas stoves. That's a major issue with MAGA Republicans. They created some conspiracy that Democrats are trying to take away people's gas stoves, which is just utterly false. And then they campaign on gas stoves. Here, play this clip.
And if you want to have a gas stove, you're going to be able to have a gas stove too.
Okay, I'm sorry for this clip that I'm about to play for you, but I don't even know what Donald Trump's doing right here. He just starts, anyway, moaning here. Play this clip.
I'm going to do it.
And then they opened for some questions. Here was one of the people who asked what Donald Trump is doing to engage young voters and Gen Z voters. Here, play the clip.
My name's Christine. I'm from Atkinson, New Hampshire. And engaging with young voters is crucial. Here in New Hampshire, we have American First warriors like Caroline Leavitt. How do you plan to engage with Gen Z voters?
Well, I think we're doing that. And I'll tell you what, you would be shocked, like Charlie Kirk and others, the job that they do with their youth. It's a youth movement. It really is. That's another movement. You would be shocked to see how popular we are on college campuses. Much different than what you read, much different than what you hear.
Such a malignant narcissist. And one of the fortunate things about Donald Trump is that he is a total idiot. And he is completely and utterly delusional. Just listen to him. He thinks that Gen Z likes Charlie Kirk. He thinks that MAGA Republicans are popular on college campuses. That's really what they believe. Oh, okay, we'll see how that's going to go. Don't believe what the media is telling you. Don't believe your own eyes. But that's what went down in the rally. Then as soon as the rally ended, Trump stopped at a diner where he met with a woman convicted in connection with the January 6th insurrection. He hugged her and signed the backpack that she carried to the Capitol as a memento. This is from Washington Post. This is what they say about it. Donald Trump on Thursday praised and embraced a woman convicted of defying police orders on the U.S. Capitol grounds on January 6, 2021. Quote, "Listen, you just hang in there," end quote, Trump told the woman, Mickey Larson Olson, who was found guilty on a misdemeanor charge of resisting police efforts to clear the grounds after the insurrection by a pro-Trump mob. Quote, "You guys are going to be okay," is what Donald Trump told her. And then Larson Olson, she said, "I can't tell you, Donald Trump, how much that meant to me," when she returned the backpack that he signed. And then Trump tells this insurrectionist, "You just take care of yourself. You've been through too much. You're going to wind up being happy."
Get over here.
President Trump, I'm the college Republican. Wow. We got a picture.
Thank you, President Trump. Here, take this.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And you just take care of yourself.
Thank you.
I'm good. I got out. What she's been through.
Thank you, President Trump. God bless you. Thank you.
mean, how despicable and just weird can you get? Okay, but how has the media covered this? You see how we cover it here on the MeidasTouch Network. Let's take a look at just 3 random but high-profile media outlets to see how they've covered the event that I just showed you, which was objectively weird and dangerous and completely against the values here in the United States of America. It's completely inhumane. There was nothing normal about that. You would hope that the media, the Fourth Estate, would basically look at that and go, you know what? That's reprehensible conduct. That is a fascist rally, the same way we call it out here on the MeidasTouch Network. This is the headline from the Boston Globe. Campaigning in New Hampshire, Trump touts economic priorities while taking shots at Biden. Who writes these headlines? Here, let's go to the next one. This is what AP writes. The Associated Press. Trump in New Hampshire speech turns focus to Biden rematch. That's the headline. That's what we just showed you. That's what you gleaned from this speech. That's he's turning his attention to that. This is what the Boston Herald wrote. Trump rallies small but energetic crowd in New Hampshire. That's their headline, that he rallies a small but energetic crowd in New Hampshire. I mean, it was in a little tiny room in the DoubleTree Hotel. Why are you writing it up like that? And by the way, this is the first paragraph of what the Boston Herald wrote. They wrote, a star-spangled crowd gathered outside the DoubleTree Hotel in Manchester hours before the scheduled arrival of former President Donald Trump. Some waited through the entirety of the morning and most of the early afternoon before they were eventually let into a 750-person capacity room rented by Trump's 2024 campaign. Are you kidding me? A star-spangled crowd? Okay, it is a tiny room in a DoubleTree hotel where a malignant narcissistic maniac is praising Kim Jong-un, whining about his refusal to debate, grunting and doing whatever the heck he was doing there, mocking other Republicans, mocking Ron DeSantis. Oh, and by the way, where was he supposed to be today? At E. Jean Carroll trial in the federal courthouse in Manhattan, which he refuses to go to, where a federal judge basically told Donald Trump's lawyer if he keeps on posting the messages that he does, violating court orders, there's going to be criminal liability and exposure. Oh, and also what happened during the day as well, former Vice President Pence testified against Donald Trump's role in the 2020 election interference criminal scheme. So all of that's going on, but your headline is the star-spangled crowd, and Trump is focusing on the rematch, and campaigning in New Hampshire, Trump touts his economic priorities. Look, the media is broken, folks. It's just that simple. And we here at the MeidasTouch Network are never going to gaslight you, period, full stop. We're just going to tell it how it is. We're going to show you these video clips, and you're going to be able to judge for yourself. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your incredible support. Help us get there by this summer. Just hit subscribe. It is free. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Become a patron. No worries if you can't, but go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch. And wherever you get your audio podcast, make sure you subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast for free. Just search MeidasTouch Podcast, subscribe, it's free. Similarly, subscribe to our YouTube channel, it is also free. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas. Have a great day.
Love this video? Then you'll love the MeidasTouch podcast. Listen as my brothers and I break down the latest news and chat with top political leaders on the fastest growing pro-democracy podcast in the world. New episodes drop every Tuesday and Friday. Add the MeidasTouch podcast right now wherever you listen to your podcasts.